You're listening to Mentoring Developers. There is the sense that you would like to give back. What else?
Well, we do. We want to make sure that the industry is in a better place. That I think making the industry better is going to make us better. It's going to challenge us. But also just being able to teach makes us better. So our team, if they can teach what they're trying to do, if they can teach and explore with these younger folks or these less experienced folks, if they can explain it to those folks, they know it even better, right? It's kind of, I'd heard this somewhere along the line, you don't know it until you can teach it type of thing. It was a phrase I heard somewhere, and I believe that. I've been going to user groups and meetups and speaking at conferences for going on a decade now. And I do believe that if you can teach something, it shows that you really understand it very well. And, that goes for our whole team. And at the same time, every July, we have 2, maybe 3 people that we could potentially hire. I know that the rest of the world is having just as much trouble finding good, smart folks. Well, now we have an opportunity not only to find good folks, but to train them, right? And we pay them while they're here. I think that's important to know. I think that's important of an apprenticeship. But we've had the opportunity to create the people that we need.
That's really good. I have noticed that there are 2 different ways of doing mentorship, or the way the companies generally do it. One is, I think what you're doing is you have a curriculum, you have classroom type environment, and they get assignments. They complete it, I think, on daily or weekly basis.
Yeah.
And then at some point they graduate. There's another way of mentorship, which is pairing with somebody. So another way some people do that is have this person shadow this other person and just follow them around and just observe and slowly, get involved. And then that's another idea that you could learn more by looking at the real problems that they're solving today than by written curriculums. The benefit, I think some companies, they derive the benefit is that they don't have to do the curriculum and they don't have to keep it up to date. What do you think? I don't know that I've been involved too much in kind of the shadowing. I had an internship, but we were thrown into production code pretty early. And I think that is different, a big difference in what we try to do. We don't and won't allow our apprentices to be a part of production client code. Client work is probably the more appropriate way to put it. Our apprentices do not work on production code. Now, our apprentices do get to pair with folks in our team members on production or client work. So they get to see and experience that. And that's important. They should know what they're getting into and what this industry is like and how to do that. But the exercises that they're a part of is not something that a client's ever going to look at and use. And that's conscious. That's done on purpose. I don't know if you've ever heard of Code Retreat. But a couple of years ago, I ran a couple of code retreats. And the idea behind a code retreat is that all day you work on the same thing over and over again. So you do the game of life kata for an hour, you talk about it, and then you blow it up and start again. But at the end of the day, you're working on a kata or a software practice that doesn't have the pressure of deadlines and budgets and earning money. And that's important for learning. Learning is about experiencing and exploring, and that's important. We do put deadlines, but having that pressure kind of taken away allows these students to explore and break things, and breaking things is a part of learning. Now, I think having a good balance between writing code and learning from other people, that osmosis idea that you're talking about, where you shadow somebody, it can provide some value. And I certainly hope that it's working for those groups that are using it. But I don't know that we would feel that it was the most appropriate way to teach folks. I think I tend to agree with you with that. I think there should be a balance, but when people are really raw, they should be allowed to make mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
You can't let them make mistakes in code that is critical.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do otherwise. It's gonna happen either way. You either want the honesty out of them or not.
For show notes and transcripts, visit us at mentoringdevelopers.com.